I've actually read court documents where people have not closed on properties, and even some with builders, and they've actually had, up to $400,000 or $500,000 in a judgment against that buyer that failed to close. So in a lot of the cases I'm seeing, the shortfall is like $150,000, $200,000. Guys, this is what you really have to be careful about. Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker. And I want to talk to you guys today about a lot of inquiries I'm getting from buyers. And they're not my buyers, but they are buyers. And these are the buyers that have purchased in what we will call at the height of the market, okay? The general question is that, how do I come out of this agreement? I bought this place in February. I feel like I paid too much for this property. It's not a good deal anymore. Can I just forfeit my deposit and can I walk away from this if I'm comfortable with that? The simple answer is no, you can't. So when you signed that purchase agreement, you are in a legally binding contract to close that transaction, okay? So it's not as simple as saying, hey, I got a $30,000 deposit over here. I'm okay to walk away with this without this $30,000 and I just want this deal to go away. It doesn't work like that, okay? Let's just use this example. You've bought a townhouse in Oshawa for $1 million, okay, at the height of the market, and now it's coming time to close. And you have a $30,000 deposit. And you're thinking, okay, well, look, that $1 million townhouse right now in Oshawa, at best case, it's worth $875,000, okay? So it's gone down $125,000. I'd rather lose that $30,000 and just make this all go away. And you're gonna try to do that, but it's not gonna work, okay? Because what's gonna happen is this. If you decide that you don't wanna close on this transaction, what will happen is that the seller's lawyer will eventually give permission to that listing agent and that seller to go ahead and relist that property for sale. And what happens at that point is that, say for example, they're gonna get $850,000 for that property at that time, okay? And you had a contract to purchase for $1 million. My understanding is that initial deposit you have, you've already forfeited that deposit because you didn't close on the transaction. What happens next is that now they have a $150,000 gap, plus they have expenses. Maybe that person already committed to purchasing another property that they couldn't close on, or maybe they did close on it through a bridge financing, but they have expenses there. They have expenses from that bridge financing, they have expenses from holding this property, maybe they have expenses for restaging, remarketing the property. They have all of these other expenses other than the shortfall that they have from the original sale price to the new sale price. Guess what? You're going to be responsible for all of that at that point, okay? And the thing is that the court system, for the most part, is very strict on it. The contract is pretty black and white. You got to close the transaction. So if you think that you're going to be out just on the deposit, it's not going to work like that. You're actually going to be out the entire amount that person is at a loss at. There are court cases that will take time. It will go to court. It might not be a quick and easy thing. It might take 1.5 years. It might take 2.5 years to resolve. But at the end of the day, likely what's going to end up happening is that buyer that failed to close the transaction is going to be responsible for that entire loss. I've actually read court documents where people have not closed on properties, and even some with builders, and they've actually had, up to $400,000 or $500,000 in a judgment against that buyer that failed to close. So in a lot of the cases I'm seeing, the shortfall is like $150,000, $200,000. Guys, this is what you really have to be careful about. This just backs it up to me telling people when they're going to purchase real estate in any market, okay? And you've probably heard me say this in other videos, is I think that there's some principles that you really have to consider, okay? And again, I think that we've gotten really far about what real estate purchases are actually about. Real estate purchases are great investments, but at the end of the day, they're sheltered, they're accommodation. You need to lay your head somewhere at night. So the way I would qualify the house that you want to buy is that, am I comfortable with the payments the way that they're going to be? We have to factor in interest increases, decreases with variable rate mortgages, but we should have some kind of calculation. Like, am I going to be comfortable with what this is going to cost me? Am I okay with the location, the layout, the house overall? It works for us, it's adequate. The most important thing is that, do I see myself living here for 5 to 7 years? I think if you're able to answer yes to these questions, no matter what the market does, I will call it in the short term I refer to as, 1.5 to 3 years, whatever it kind of does, I think that you're gonna come out on top no matter what. Again, is the appreciation going to be something crazy that we've seen from 2020 into 2022? No, I think we're probably going to see a normalized rate of increase on these properties. What does that mean? 3 to 5%? I think that's what we could probably expect once the market settles down. So tie it all back together. Can you walk away because you've seen fluctuations in the market and you're willing to forfeit your deposit? No. I would say as much as possible, to the best of your ability, try to close on that transaction, be happy with what it is, and then you can always have options a couple years later, whether you want to dispose of that property. I suggest you probably don't. Maybe try to put yourself in a position where you can go back, refinance that property, and buy the property that you want to move up to. All right, guys, if you have any questions about this, I have a lot of information about it, and maybe we could talk about your specific situation. So feel free to send me a DM or give me a call. I'll be happy to talk to you about your specific situation. And guys, this is where I need your help. I need you to like, I need you to share this video, and I need you to, most importantly, subscribe to our awesome YouTube channel. Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.